Before I get into the pod this week, some of you may have noticed that last week the podcast was a little bit late. The reason was somebody very close to me passed away, and his name was Emmanuel. He was 21. He was in university. He had just passed a driving test, and he'd recently started a clothing line. And ultimately, a couple of months ago, he passed away in his sleep. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't drug or substance related. He wasn't sick. It just was his time. Now, some of you are going to be thinking, why am I chatting about this now? And talking to you about this guy. And the reason is very, very simple. Although it's heartbreaking that Emmanuel is no longer with us, he lived his life trying to be great, and he inspired a lot of people around him. I made a decision when I started this podcast to always seek to inspire and encourage. And no doubt there are people listening or watching right now that have dreams and aspirations to themselves be great one day. Some of you have amazing ideas, and whether it be fear or lack of finances or whatever excuse we tell ourselves, we're holding back. We're procrastinating. And if there was one thing that Emmanuel's life taught me, is that you have to work hard in order to make your dreams a reality. You have to take every day as if it's your last, because you never know. Remember, it's your dream. It's therefore your responsibility. It's something that you have to work at. And regardless of the situation, and regardless of whether you become the biggest in the game or you barely touch the sides, the real beauty comes from the journey, not the destination. And the experience is the true prize. The lessons you'll learn trying to be great will enrich and empower you moving forward to become the best version of yourself. Emmanuel's brand was called Diamantè. I'm wearing it now. He called it Diamantè because pressure makes diamonds. And although he's no longer with us, his legacy shines brightest. It's like the brightest diamond you could ever think of. And it will continue to live on for years in his family, his friends, and all those that were touched and inspired by his life. It's actually funny because during his funeral service, I received a message from CrepRep, the person we're actually interviewing for this week's podcast. And she texted me saying, am I the guy on the stage singing in the choir? And I text back saying, yeah, that's me. And we found out we both knew and loved Emmanuel, and we sort of connected on that. And that's one of the reasons why I felt this episode was a good one to dedicate to Emmanuel's memory, considering we both knew and loved him. And the last thing I'll say on this is, if you do have a dream, not to sound like Martin Luther King or anything, or some pseudo motivational speaker, but don't wait. Start. I know the hardest thing in this world is to start, but just start. And it don't have to be at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It could be at 2 miles a day. You can just do one little thing. You'll never regret starting. I guarantee it. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. It may never come. Today on Kicks Chronicles, it's part 2 of our interview with the one and only CrepRep. We discuss our top 3 sneakers for this year so far. We also get into the reasons behind why CrepRep decided to start creating content in the first place. And lastly, CrepRep tells us what kicks she would take with her if she was stranded on a desert island. This is Kicks Chronicles. Yes, my people, Big PROZECH here again, and you already know what it is, man. Another episode of your sneaker and lifestyle podcast, Kicks Chronicles, episode 57. You already know. I'm your boy PROZECH, and I hope you are well. First and foremost, thank you for everyone that managed to listen/watch our most recent episode, part 1 of our chat with the one and only CrepRep. You already know. She did her thing. If you didn't manage to go and catch that episode, make sure to go and listen or watch that. It's available anywhere you guys get podcasts, whether that be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you get podcasts, it's available there. Make sure to go and light that thing up. As I said already, this week we continue our chat with the one, the only CrepRep, the sneaker and streetwear content creator, CrepRep. We discuss the best kicks of 2023 so far. We also delve into her origin story and the reasons why she started creating content and for who as well, which is really, really important. And please make sure to stick around to hear about that. Lastly, I ask her the all-important question: what kicks she would take with her if she was stranded on a desert island, and her answer, for one of a better term, left me speechless. Yeah, the two shoes she selected weren't crazy, but the reason for one of them was wild. So yeah, people, make sure to stick around to hear that as well. Overall, as I've said already, she was an amazing guest, a very, very cool girl, somebody that I've really vibed with, and someone that I'm pulling for in every way, shape, and form. I want her to succeed and do well, just like everybody that comes on the podcast. I want us all to win. I want us all to succeed. I want us all to be great, and she will be. She's already doing great things out there. Guys, make sure if you want to get in contact with us, hit us up on the email, kickschronicles@gmail.com, or hit us up in the comments, liking, subscribing, commenting. If you feel like reviewing, that's just a little 5-star review. That's really, really helpful. You get me? I really appreciate those. You get me? And also share. If you like the podcast and you actually think somebody else that you know might enjoy the podcast, this like really nostalgic, irreverent chat about sneakers and about life, feel free to share it, man. You have my absolute permission. I absolutely have enjoyed, I should say, the opportunity to speak to CrepRep, and hopefully we get the opportunity to speak again at some point in the not too distant future. I absolutely found this interview interesting and entertaining, and I hope you guys do too. And with all of that being said, I'm your boy PROZECH. This, as you well know, is Kicks Chronicles, and our guest this week in part 2, the final part, I should say, of our interview is CrepRep. Enjoy. House is burning down. You can only grab one.
Oh my days.
What you taking? And don't try and be smart and try to say you're gonna die trying to grab one more. No, you can only grab one. There's only one available to grab. Which one are you gonna grab?
It's like asking me to choose which one of my kids. It's not ideal.
I know. It's exactly what I'm going for. That feeling of panic that's in your eyes.
Do I go for the firstborn? Do I go for the youngest? I don't know. It will have to be an Air Max, but I don't know if it will be like, it might, do you know what? Yeah, it might have to be. I said I didn't have loyalty to no place before, but I actually have loyalty to just London in general. So it may have to be the 95s, the Cortez 95.
Wow, you see?
Don't hold me to it though.
See, do you know what's mad here, right? See, this is the reason why I love this podcast and I love asking people questions, because at the beginning of the podcast, people are going to remember she's like, you know, man, I'm from North, East, South, West. You get me? I ended up in Essex. You get me? I don't hold loyalty to no ends. You get me? I just do my thing. You get me, man? I'm a nomad. You get me, man? I just
Your
moved
accent,
around. You get me?
I was reading from a Top Boy script, but that's not how I said it. That is not.
You told me why don't watch it. That's exactly how you said it in that tone as well. And all of a sudden, you press one, two questions, you press hard enough, and then all of a sudden,
It was.
I'm repping London. I'm saying, yeah, I'm repping South. You get me? I'm repping these man there. You get me? Quarters all the way, London, boom, boom. You get me? No, so nah, respect it though, respect it,
Yeah.
because that shoe means a large amount. So I completely understand,
Yeah.
and it's a very tough question. I'm not gonna lie.
You also got to think,
Yeah.
like, which one can I sell on and make a bit of money on?
Well,
You know,
I mean, some people are entrepreneurial in that way, and they're thinking long term.
yeah, because
You
you
get
got
me?
to
And
buy a
some,
new house now since we.
you get me, like, because the house is burnt down.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true. And the collection's gone, so you got to get them all. It's true. And yeah, that definitely will get you a pretty penny. So respect it. Cool. So 2023, we're in October now.
Yeah.
Recording this in October. What would you say is your top 3 of 2023 so far?
Great. Okay, I've got to look at my phone for this. So I can remember.
I respect it.
Not gonna lie though, I don't think anything has really shouted at me like that. There's actually one pair on this list. Let me just say a Cold War collaboration on the TN silhouette.
Yeah, the low key.
The blue ones.
Low key.
I think
yeah,
to be in the top 3. I don't know if it's number 1, but it's definitely in the top 3.
Yeah, low key, that man killed it.
Oh, like I need to find someone to actually, because I don't know what's going on with the blue ones. I've seen the white ones, I've seen the black ones. Are the blue ones?
I just see the blue ones. So I saw on a podcast, shout out to the Stockroom boys, you get me? I think it was M1 that said that.
Okay.
The blue ones are like, there's like 500 pairs, allegedly.
Because I was literally there like on sneakers, like, okay, so
yeah, bro, it didn't happen. The white ones and the black ones, but the blue ones, yeah. So yeah,
okay,
I definitely got time for them though. The Cold War, man. And I don't think they're sitting, but I don't think they flew off. So I think they're gettable.
They're still.
Yeah, I think they're gettable.
I think they are sitting. I'm not gonna lie to you, they're still in stock.
I think they're gettable, man. They're gettable, but I think they definitely represent a little bit of a moment as well. I can't lie, like I feel like in the culture, like people were super vibing with the Cold War. I think it's probably the best TN that's come out in the last 3-4 years. Like it is a very, very good TN. So yeah.
But I'm
people secretly love that shoe.
I don't want to get the white or the black one, and then I find out some way somehow the blue's available.
I could have got the blue, yeah, because that blue is fire.
I don't know if you can you've noticed already, but I really am big on collaborations because again, like it helps me shop consciously. So I don't buy like trainers willy nilly if they're really comfortable and they're like they speak to again my interest, my personality. I'll get them, but I would especially get them if they're like a collaboration or it feels like it's kind of like limited edition because I just feel like I don't want to keep spending my money mindlessly. But I feel like Yoon Ambush's collaboration on the Up Tempo was quite nice. I don't know if I would buy it myself, but it was definitely a shoe that made me stop and be like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And then actually did the Supreme and Clark's Wallaby come out this year? They did.
Yeah,
if they did, I really liked those and I did buy those.
I think it was 2023. Yeah. And they're crazy. Yeah.
So
I'm seeing 2023.
Good.
Yeah, that's a strong shoe. That's a super strong shoe. I feel like, Supreme's done all right with kicks this year. Like, I like the Ramelzy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did all right, man. Yeah, man. All right. That's calm, man. That's
I'm
calm.
mentioning to Noctis. I do like the Noctis.
What, the glides?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, I did hate on the glides, man. I
Did
remember I
you?
was chatting. Yeah, I was chatting to. I'm always shouting people out, man. Who was I chatting to? I was chatting to Cess from Trainerheads.
Yeah.
And we were both hating. I think we hating on the glides, or was it the ones before the hot steppers or the
hot steppers is the one
the
with it's got yellow at the back.
yeah, I think we were hating on the hot steppers because we just wanted Drake to come harder, man. I think like pause, come harder long. Drake to do something better than he had done before.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the glide is definitely grown on me.
Yeah.
I did speak to someone recently at Sneakerhead, and they were like, it's actually a really comfortable shoe. I've never tried it on. But like he did bite he did completely bite like another shoe. I just can't remember the name. The name escapes me. I think that shoe was called the Glide as well.
Oh, okay.
But like the whole midsole is taken from another shoe. But I mean, what's not been done under the sun? To be fair, it's all been taken from somewhere. I think like he put it together nice, so I feel like that shoe's come back around for me. So yeah, I have to put some respect on that shoe. That shoe's decent. That shoe is decent.
What would be your top three?
Top three this year, it's definitely moved because I did a whole top 10 before, but like top three, yeah. I'll definitely have the SB in there. I'd probably have the the SB Jordan 4.
Okay.
I'll probably
it's hard, isn't it? Because they haven't really.
It's so hard. I feel like this has been a decent year. This has been a good year, man. Like I would say I'm not a massive low profile SB guy, but the Born and Raised were really strong. The ones that just came out, and they've got like a massive story behind them as well.
What's the story behind those?
Born and Raised, I think it's an LA brand.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the guy. Hold on, let me get the name of the guy, because essentially, the guy that created them passed like a week or two prior to them originally coming out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and essentially the shoe is a representation of East LA, sort of tattoo culture, the Hispanic culture over there, skate culture as well. Like it was a very genuine, organic collaboration, and it was made sort of, the notoriety was amped up 1,000,000% because of obviously him passing and him sort of being sort of a very genuine representative, so to speak, of that area, and sort of like just being a sort of genuine guy and having a really cool brand that people vibe with that represented LA, and the sort of Hispanic Chicano sort of culture sort of thing. So yeah, then obviously he passed. Nike did the right thing and they pulled back and they said they weren't going to put it out. And obviously they just put it out recently, I'd imagine with the support and blessing of his family.
Yeah.
And that just went off. Yeah, it went off. And then really nice thing in terms of design, very, very cool, is on the toe box, it's not got sort of the regular sort of just hole perforations. They kind of look like a brogue. It's kind of like got like different, yeah, it's like a really interesting sort of toe box, which is like just another, and it's got like this sort of interesting pearlescent swoosh as well, which you can take or leave. But I really like the toe box, and at the front of the toe box, you know how like sort of like those gangsters in LA, they have like sometimes have tattoos under their eyes. So on the shoe, on the toe box right at the front, they've got like these two, it looks like tattoos.
Is it? Wait, I'm gonna.
Like right at the front, yeah, right at the front, and it kind of just evokes that. And that's one of the reasons why I think people just vibe with the shoe so strongly.
Yeah, for you. Yeah. I love a shoe with a story, man.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, so that shoe's definitely in the mix.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether I would say 100% top three, but definitely it's in the mix.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the year, I had the white cement reimagined. I don't think that's top three anymore because it's too basic. Even though it's a really cool shoe, it's pretty standard. I think certain other shoes have come out with really cool stories, like, you know, similar like the J Tips. J Tips have got another shoe coming out this year that if that shoe comes out, that's gonna be in the top 10 as well. And that's the grid 2.
Have you seen photos of it yet?
Yeah. I saw them on Instagram, on his Instagram. It's got pink hits, it's got brown, it's got sail, but the silhouette is very, very cool. And what he's done with the silhouette, I think the shoe may be called the Savior. I think it's called the Savior.
Okay.
But if that's coming out, that's another top 10. I said it on my story like a few weeks ago. I was like, if this shoe comes out this year, this guy's got 2 shoes in the top 10 this year. His first 2 shoes he's ever created are both in the top 10 for the year and cannot be denied. I'm not accepting it from anybody. Like, they will both be in my top 10 if he brings out that shoe. So, like, yeah, definitely J Tips. I think every so often there's like a designer that comes out and it's like, oh, this cat kind of chats to me. Like, his palette and his vibe and his story kind of speak a little bit to me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm definitely feeling what this guy's. And when I heard his story, I was like, especially with that, remember who fronted, I was like, bro, I know that story, because that happens to all of us, that feeling of like, you're trying to put yourself out there, you're trying to do great things, you're trying to be great, essentially.
Yeah.
And there's people trying to hold you down, where there's people trying to push back, enemies of progress, as we say in Africa, you get me? Man. Just let me live. Just let me be great, man. Just let me do my thing. You get me, man? So, I definitely, when you get around and hear the story, you start realizing, you know what, man? This is actually sick. And that Grid 2000 colorway, I think it's called the Grid Shadow 2000. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that particular silhouette, I said colorway, but silhouette is a really, really good silhouette as well. It's a really good silhouette. So, like, the way he's put them all together, I'm like, yeah, bro, this guy could go clear this year. Can't lie. So yeah, those are free. Those are free for you still. You switch the tables on me, man. I know this is what you do. You get me? I play the game as well. I know this is what you do. You get me? But talking about switching the tables, really, really sort of like quickly, just to touch on things. Obviously, you create content. You work at Soul Supplier as well. You do some content for Soul Women's as well.
Like with them, no.
You work with them, collaborations, respectfully. You get me? Like, you do your thing.
Yeah.
But you're out there, man. Why did you start creating content, and what's your aim in doing this?
So I started creating content because I just felt like there was a need to discuss sneakers in a less serious way. So initially, like, if you scroll down my feed, like, my content is so unserious. It's actually so unserious. That's not to downplay like the importance of, design in the sneaker world, or to like undermine like the hard work and the thought process that goes into it. But actually, it's just to open doors a little bit for people that don't necessarily identify as sneakerheads but still want to be part of the conversation. Like, we want to hear their opinions. Do you like this trainer?
Love it.
Do you not? If so, why? If not, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, and just like busting this myth that you have to be like this sneaker geek to have a say. Like, you don't have to know when these sneakers drops. You don't have to know what this material is called. Yeah, there's actually people for that, and they are working in the industry creating the shoes. Like, they get paid to know this. You don't get paid to do it, to know it, and so you can talk about it if you wish. And that's why I started connecting with like dancers, basketball player, who else did I connect with? A skateboarder, like, just connecting with people who are just going about their everyday creative journeys and identifying where in that journey does like the sneaker play a role, and just trying to show people that like it's as easy as that. Like, if you're a baker, what are you wearing to the kitchen? Do you know what I mean?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
What are you wearing at the hospital? If you work a 9 to 5, what are you wearing on your commute journey? Like, it's literally as simple as that. And you don't have to be an OG sneakerhead to be a part of the conversation. Is why I started creating content. Is so
absolutely
get involved as well.
When I first started, there was a question I usually used to ask, or I'd ask it every so often when I felt it would come up, and it was, what shoes do you wear when you're doing what you do best? What you enjoy to do, what you understand. So, like, if you're a photographer, like, these are the sort of questions that come into my mind. If you're a photographer, if you work in sales, or if you, I'm saying, like, if you want to, if you enjoy running, what are the shoes you draw for when you're about to do things you really, really enjoy, right? And it's absolutely in line with what you were saying, because people might not refer to themselves as sneakerheads because they don't want the pressure of having to know sort of when the first Jordan was created, or what materials they're made of, or blah blah blah. Like, all of these different hurdles that we put in front of ourselves in order to quote unquote call yourself a sneakerhead. But they're making decisions about the kicks that they wear, and I feel like those are valid as well. So you're absolutely right, man. Regardless of whether you identify as a sneakerhead or not, like, if you're making decisions about your kicks, if you're actually taking a moment to sit down and think, like, I actually prefer how these feel on my feet as opposed to these, like, there may be a reason why you may identify with a brand or a silhouette. It may, I'm saying, there may be a story behind it. There's so many different things, and that's the reason why I started this podcast, because I'm like, well, regardless of whether you identify as a sneakerhead or not, we can sit down and have this conversation, because ultimately, you have made decisions about your shoes. So you have thought about it. And if you thought about it, regardless of whether you're a sneakerhead or not, because the name of the podcast isn't Sneakerheads Are Us, it's Kicks Chronicles. It's about looking back over the shoes that we liked when we were older, younger and older, right? So it is what it is. So yeah, no, I definitely vibe with that. That's a very, very cool thing. And yeah, I'm down with the unserious content, man.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
Because you know what, yeah, like, for me, I gain a lot when I'm watching content about sneakers that feels informative, and I gain knowledge about, like, the background of shoes. But the truth of it is like, that's only a handful of us compared to, like, the general, like, consensus or the general consumer. Is like, people want to be entertained, number one. Number two, like, they want to feel like they have an advantage at something. So if it's you telling them where to cop something, or if you're telling them how to lace their shoes, etc., like, that's the kind of knowledge that I think benefits them, or that's the kind of content I think benefits, like, the general consumer. Otherwise, they just don't feel like they're concerned with the conversation. Sometimes, the conversation can be left to, like, educating other sneakerheads, but that's just not my I don't think that's my calling. So
And I think it's super important for you to be self-aware and know sort of what you vibe with, because some people just, like, try and be everything to everyone, and that's not a true reflection. Like, just, when you find what you're comfortable with, you pick your lane and you stick with it, and that's where you're gonna find your success. So I completely agree with you, man. Like, I don't protest to be the most knowledgeable sneakerhead.
yeah, I mean,
at all. Like, it's just not me. Like, but
boring. Like, when I'm there talking about sneakers, like, we don't care. But when I was there, like, doing an episode with a skateboarder who was teaching me how to skate, and I was dropping off the skateboard, like, they were interested in that. They wanted to see me drop off the skateboard. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think, and as well, like, I'm not just, this is what I do as my passion, but my full time is directing and photography. So I do need to find, like, where I can exist in those worlds simultaneously. So if I am talking about sneakers, or if I'm sharing my passion, I've been able to learn a way to talk about it without excluding anyone from the conversation. Because I meet so many different people through my job. So yeah, I just feel like I can carry that into my passion as well, like, speaking about my passion or my interests without necessarily excluding anyone from the conversation. So if they want to be involved, they can.
I love it.
And if not,
I love it.
What about you?
I love it, man. No, I definitely vibe with it, man. And more grace, more success to you, man. You're smashing it. Yeah, you're smashing it. And obviously, you came on my radar because, obviously, of all the great things that you're already doing, whether it be on TikTok or Instagram or in social media in general, man. I don't know how anybody could not know you by now, because you're about, bro. You're fully. You're fully about, man. So you're doing great work, and it's being recognized, man. So yeah, keep doing your thing. Sorry to sound like our old uncle just trying to G up and that, but yeah,
No,
no
it's
one's there,
actually
bro.
it's nice to hear.
No, man, I love to encourage people and let people know that, because the thing is, even me starting this, a lot of people have come on and they were like, bro, I vibe with your thing, you know, and I'm like, how do you even know me? People send me emails,
People
right,
know
and I'm,
you. Stop.
people send me emails, and the first thing I reply to in every email is, how do you know me?
How do you know?
Like, where did you get the email from? Like, because it's not, my assumption is you're not watching this podcast, you're not listening to this podcast. It must be another way. How did you get this information? You get me? And they'll come back and they'll tell me how they got it, whether they got it from somebody or whether they did get it through the podcast. And I'm like, it's just one of them things where it's like, oh, well, okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
That said, then how did you find me?
How did I find you? You're all over my feed, bro. I can't get rid of you. I'm trying to find ways. Joke, man. Oh, this girl's so funny, man. You knew that I was gonna say that. By the way, yeah, right. Another thing that's so cool about you and what you represent is females in kicks. And I'm not like a champion for anybody, man. Everyone just do what you want to do, but I'm definitely interested in having people being able to share their experiences, because everyone's valid, right? And whether that's from the male perspective, female perspective, like, I want to hear it. I want to actually hear it. I have views, right, on how the overall sneaker culture and industry has treated women over the years. I have views on those things, but like, my view is like, it should, I'm saying, like, even though it's valid to me, like, I actually want to hear how women feel about certain issues and things about the culture. So it's important for us to be able to give people a voice, regardless of what their gender is. Obviously, just let people speak. And that's another reason why I love this podcast, because I get to speak to people and give them the opportunity to say what they want to say. Like, I've got an issue with women's only drops. I've got an issue with it. Like, in 2023, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. You get me? Talk to me. What are you saying?
It's not necessary, but it is necessary. So I feel like I haven't done much research into this. I'll just say that off the bat before I say it. But I have a feeling that the reason why women only drops were introduced is because it didn't feel like there was enough choice for women when it comes to general drops. But here's the thing, like, even when the women only drops come round, first of all, they never slap as hard. They never bang. Like, it's only recently that it feels like it's worth copying. But before it would always be like, oh, let's just do pink and purple and then call it a women's drop.
Yeah.
And then also with the women's drops, men still buy the women's drops.
I do. And this is the point I'm making. Like, CrepRep, I buy the shoes, bro. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not a joke, man. I buy the shoes. Like, those Joe's Greens, they're a women's only drop. What in the world makes them a women's only drop?
So
that went all up to a 14, by the way. Joke, man. You think I'm an idiot?
The idea, like the reason behind it, like that rationale is necessary. Yeah. But maybe it just wasn't the right way to go about it, because how are you then supposed to control who buys the shoe? Like, if it's a women only drop, like, men are still...
It can't. I'm saying, like, I mean, it is what, like, even when, what's this guy's name? Travis, the Olives, women's only. I was like, okay, we're doing women's only again, cool, but at least let it go to a 14 like last time. All of a sudden, I'm seeing it go to a 9.5, and I'm saying, on the last one, are you serious, bro? You didn't even give me a chance.
It is a women's only drop. What were you doing on a women's only?
Don't ask me those type of questions, man. Don't ask me those type of questions, respectfully. That's so funny to me. Like, no, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. I like those colorway. I like that colorway as well. I like that silhouette as well. It's not fair. So for me, I'm like, nah, I didn't like that. And for a minute, I was salty about the shoe. I didn't want to put it in my top 10, but I can't deny it. It's a strong colorway. Yeah, you can't deny it. It's a strong colorway. It's simple, but it's strong. So it's like, yeah, I've got an issue with it. I feel like I'm similar to you in the sense that, like, I feel that men are gonna buy the shoes anyway if the colorway is bang.
What's your ideal situation?
Ideal situation, truthfully, and this isn't well thought out enough for it to be a strong business case. But for me, your numbers are off in terms of your size runs. So that's all that's what needs to be adjusted. There needs to be more research done into what an appropriate size run is, and it needs to go from a 2.5 or whatever the lowest is, all the way up to a 14. Right? You may need to adjust the numbers. Huh?
Why 14?
Do you know what? Maybe not even a 14, because no, I'm not a 14. I'm a 12. Right? But I know that's where it goes. But the thing is, yeah, like if you've got a really good colorway, right, and you on a strong silhouette, and you know it's gonna sell, why limit it? I suppose the limiting is purely as a means of driving demand, right? But we know that that's not always 100% guaranteed in terms of going to translate into sales. Not every shoe that's limited by size sells out. It doesn't happen that way. A lot of them invariably end up on sales. You get me? So just like more market research and understanding the best pattern for dividing the sales run. Dividing the size run up. And yeah, I feel like if somebody's got a really, really small foot and someone's got a pretty big foot, they can both have the shoe. You get me? First time round, they should just both have the shoe. You get me? Don't make it too hard for the big foot, and don't make it too hard for the pick-me. You get me?
You don't think that there should be any women's only like drops? It should just be general drops.
I just think everybody should get what they want. Don't get me wrong, yeah? I'm all for women having anything they want. So in terms of, okay, if women really want women's only drops, yeah, fam, do your thing, right? But what I think, and this is just me, what I think they really want is they want the hardest shoes in their size.
Yeah.
Right? And that ain't nothing to do with women or man. That's what we all want.
But then the thing is, like, with a women's only drop, so what you're saying is that there's some women who miss out because of the size one.
Yeah.
Of the women's only drop.
Yeah. Because there's not enough in their size. So they can't even get the shoe that they want.
So then maybe the solution isn't to eradicate women only drops. It's just to widen the size ranges.
But this is what I'm saying. But the truth is, though, what purpose does a woman's only drop have if you widen the size range?
I think it goes back.
If it's a design thing, you said it yourself. They're popping out with pinks and purples and lilacs. They think that's what you man like.
Yeah.
You get me? And respectfully, that's not every woman. You get me? So like, if that's what it is, boom, like they can keep on doing that, because those ain't gonna sell out. Because that's not really what we're all about. People that really about these kicks, they want like what got them in. They want the things that evoke that heart feel. Yeah. That like, you know what, like, yeah, this is a shoe that I can vibe with, or this shoe represents a moment or a feeling. You get me? Not just pinks and purples and this. Like, you get me? Like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying, like, it's not about that. It's about the feeling. There's more of a connection there. People just want hard shoes in their size.
Yeah, literally.
Like, just give them the shoes in the size.
That's the bottom line. And I think I am actually personally more worried with the resellers. The drops can become general. They can be men only, they can be women only, but as long as the resellers are about, we may not get any of these shoes in our sizes.
Fair. Yeah, that's the truth. That is just the truth. That is just the truth. We just have to understand that. It is 100% true. There's no way around it. Resellers are going to resell. Even though the market is definitely down at the moment.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
strong shoes are always gonna resell, and there's always gonna be a market for that. People are always gonna invest in bots and things of that nature to give themselves a competitive advantage. So you're absolutely right. Things are going to continue to go the way that they have been going. But I just think, like, even from a political standpoint, I know what they think they're doing when they say it's a women's only drop. You think you're championing women and you're putting women forward, but really what you should have done in actuality is widen that range to give women a real chance. When it's a hard shoe, right, you're not making enough smaller sizes. Make more small sizes so that women can get the shoe as well.
Yeah, and I would actually just put more women designers in.
Massively. Just give them their spot, man.
Know?
I'm saying a Lady Mays, Melody Asani's, there's probably a billion others that need to be in the spot. You get me?
That I know of, that I see like frequently, there's like 3-4 names and that's it. But there needs to be way more, and I think then there wouldn't be really much need for women only drops if like designers, there were as many women designers as there are men designers, because they would just be like, it would just be general, they're just making general shoes. It wouldn't feel like, oh, a Lady May, out of the hundreds of designers, this one woman has designed one shoe this year. It's like, come on, guys.
Bro, that's like, so I definitely feel like there needs to be more for female designers, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And I've got something in the pipeline. I'm going to be talking to a female designer very soon. So, because I just want to understand from their perspective, like sort of what they feel. You get me? But now, without going off into a tangent, I want to ask you a question that I love this question so much. I feel like it's going to give you, it's going to give you a little bit of, and it's gonna make you do something, you know, it's gonna make you feel something, you get me? Like, so the question is called Desert Island Kicks.
I know.
So you are stuck on a desert island and you don't know how you got there, but you have 2 pairs of shoes with you. What 2 pairs of shoes do you have with you on the island, and why?
Okay. So, first of all, I have got a pair of 95s. Because there's going to be a lot of walking, exploring. I need to be comfortable. Do you know what I mean? And you can still look good as well in the night.
Why not?
So, yeah, definitely, if I'm walking, running, even trying to get away from any beasts.
Come on now.
The 95s are definitely the shoes that I've got on the desert island. Now, a second pair. Why am I laughing? A second pair. What else do you do on a desert island? Okay. I think the other pair of shoes another pair of shoes that I may have are a pair of Jordan 1s. And let me tell you why. Because if I do need to defend myself, those are the shoes I'm throwing at whatever is trying to come at me.
No way.
Because you gotta have something to defend yourself. If I've got no weapons, I've only got 2 shoes to get it. I need to chuck. I'm not gonna get rid of the 95s to get it. So
nah, this is wild.
I'm so sorry, but I'm just.
This is wild. So you're telling me,
it's just gonna be like a survivor,
that if you're getting attacked by like a tiger or something, you're dashing a Chicago at the head.
Skedaddle. It might have to even be the mockers, since I didn't even spend money on those.
Oh, cool.
I'm sorry.
So that's cool.
It's not my fault. It's the circumstances. You said desert island, survival instincts kicked in.
Boy, that fight or flight, and she just dashed the mockers. People, let me know what you would do. Let me know what you would do. Do you agree with CrepRep? And you sacrifice the sacrificial lamb I feel like that's a good name for a Jordan 1. I feel like that's a very cool name for a silhouette. The sacrificial lamb. Wowza. She just dashed that shoe.
No disrespect
You get
to the
me?
Jordan 1s though.
I feel the disrespect has already been sustained. This is what I love, yeah. People say disrespectful stuff. say no disrespect.
Disrespectful like that. Like if you call it the sacrificial lamb, I call it the lifesaver. Do you get it?
Boom, 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 boom. It's just how you spin it. I get you. Well played. All right. We're gonna do some quick fires, man. You've been amazing, by the way, man. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. Quick fires. They're just like what it says on the tin, man. Quick fire. Yeah. I don't read very fast, so you don't have to worry, but I'm expecting that answer to come back with no dilly-dally. I hope we understand each other.
Yeah.
No dilly-dally. No dilly-dally. Just no dilly-dally. Respectfully. All right. You ready to go, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Big one. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
New Balance or Adidas?
New Balance.
Can you wear Nike and Adidas together, yes or no? Cool. What was your last sneakers win?
Oh, TN's, the platinum one.
From Sneakers Day?
Yeah.
Cool. What's your Jordan number?
My Jordan number?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 4. 3.
That sounded like a dilly-dally. Is it 4 or 3?
No, 3.
Oh, it's 3. Okay. Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok?
TikTok.
Sneakers, kicks, or Creps?
Creps. Come on, CrepRep.
Of course, respectfully. Spotify or Apple Podcast?
Spotify, come on.
Do you know what? Let me side note this, yeah? Apple, you need to up your game, man. I don't know if you need to add to your marketing budget, but no one's ever said Apple. Just being Spotify have got this a lot. I might have to retire this question because Apple has never got an answer here, respectfully. What's your favorite collaboration?
Favorite collaboration, Cortez.
Yeah, no, it's fair. That's good. That's good. Vans or Converse?
Converse.
Yeah. Remember from before the double panels and that. Laces.
Yeah, come at the
Wildness, just wild. Oh, just I mean, okay, we leave there. I
might have to send you the photo of the double panels,
Yeah. Laces or slip-ons?
Laces.
Default laces. So as they come out the box, or do you do patterns with your laces?
Wait, I will have to dilly-dally on this. I'm so sorry, but my laces are never as they come out of the box, but I don't go as far as doing up patterns.
Okay, so even if it's like a basic pattern, right? If it's not exactly how it come out of the box, it's not.
Fine, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a pattern, right? Cool. What you don't want to be associated with all them like people doing up all the curls and that.
No, I just didn't want people to. I didn't want people to expect something crazy when they see my shoes. They're like, "Oh, it's basic."
Nah, man, no one's listening to that kind of level. They're gonna come up to you and say, "You said you did patterns on your laces, and you haven't got a pattern on your laces. You haven't got a pattern on your laces. What's going on? You were lying on the quick fires." Nah, I don't think anyone. And if anyone comes up to you like that, record them and send that to me because I need to speak to them directly. This is an interesting one. Custom design. So, are you a fan of customizing your shoes, or are you straight factory settings?
Customizing.
Okay, I like that.
Well, on the double panels.
Come on. No, she said it. She said it. Retro or innovation?
I like retro.
You like that? Flip-flops or slides?
Slides.
Socks or barefoot?
Socks, come on. I'm angry at that one. I don't like the fact she asked me.
I ain't averse to a barefoot. I'm being real with you, man. I'm not averse to it. On certain shoes feel like socks to me. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I like Yeezys. You can't tell me this don't feel like a sock sometimes. This feels like a sock to me.
I mean, you just delete the sock.
Anyway, what I don't like is them ankle socks. I feel like they're a stain on the sneaker culture, bro. Them ankle socks are long to me. But anyway, that's a personal grudge. I'm not gonna put that on you. Comfort or style?
Comfort.
Fresh and clean or beaten and battered?
Fresh and clean.
Washing machine or hand wash your shoes?
Hand wash.
Lows, mids or highs?
Lows.
Triple blacks or white on whites? So you're on that smoke. She's out here with the murderers and that. Respectfully. Triple blacks, yeah?
Yeah. Blacks, man.
Yeah, wild. Alright, say less. Alright, so as I said, you've been amazing. I just got like literally a couple more questions for you.
I just want to say something quickly.
Go on, man. Go on.
It's been bugging me when you said New Balance or Adidas, and I want to backtrack.
Uh-oh.
I want to say Adidas.
Oh.
It's not New Balance. I don't even have a single pair of New Balance. I don't know why I said New Balance.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe like I've got so much Adidas. I realised I'm an.
Do you think the pressure got to you, and you just
the pressure was getting worse?
So what we're saying now, we're saying that. Okay, so we're saying that it was because I'm gonna show everybody this, like, because we feel like here.
Yeah, Adidas.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not New Balance anymore. It's Adidas.
Adidas.
You get me? Calm. So New Balance, all you man out there that were like thinking about, okay, well, like CrepRep is definitely rapping for us. Just know that that's not the case anymore. You get me? She switched over to the German man. She switched over to Adidas and that. So it is what it is, man. But at least you're being real, which I respect. You get me? Yeah, just do your thing. Alright, so we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier in terms of the term sneakerhead and what it means and how it makes people feel. And you kind of alluded to what you thought it meant. But yeah, let's capture that again for this period. So what does the term sneakerhead, what does it mean to you?
To me, I think what it means to me is like you take a lot of pride in the sneaker culture, so much so that you feel like it's not really a trend, it's more like a family or a collective. And that's why I call myself CrepRep, to be honest, because I feel like I'm a representative of that community. So for me, being a sneakerhead is just basically leaning into this community that find importance in sneaker culture, and not just the trainers itself, like the stories it drives or the energy that it represents, the feelings and the sentiments that it brings each and every one of us. That's what I feel sneakerhead is for me, anyway.
Oh, I love it. So with that being said, CrepRep, are you a sneakerhead?
100%, 1000.
Yeah. Kicks Chronicles certified sneakerhead. CrepRep's definitely a sneakerhead. We love it, man. And 100% in terms of like what you did on the podcast, we love your presence and we love what you're doing. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. We really respect it. I love everything. You're funny. Your personality comes through. You get me, man. So yeah, just keep on doing your thing and keep on shining.
Thank you.
No worries at all. So yeah, obviously this has been your Kicks Chronicles. I want you to tell the millions and millions of people that are going to listen to this, watch this, what you got going on in your life, how they can support, how they can connect.
First of all, you lot pray for me because cost of living it ain't easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. So keep me in your prayers first and foremost, and God will answer you abundantly. But aside from that, I'm CrepRep on TikTok. I'm CrepRep on Instagram, and as I said previously, I'm also a photographer and a filmmaker. So go support my thing. If you look hard enough, you'll find me. I'm not gonna say my govy on here.
We agreed prior to this to keep that under wraps, but for the right price, I can make that known. So just holler at me offline or DM still.
Listen, when someone confirms the price, just know that.
No, I'll piece you off. Don't worry about that. I'll piece you off. Yeah.
It's really nice. It's been blessed being on here, man. Thank you for having me.
Nah, it's amazing. Thank you so much for being here, man. I really, really appreciate it. Once again, people, this has been another episode of Kicks Chronicles. We had an illustrious guest in the building. We had CrepRep herself here blessing us with her takes and her opinions. You get me? Some of them are a little questionable on certain points, but you get me, man. We're all out here living our truth, man. We love it, man. So yeah, people, let us know how you feel about the episode in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do all the things we need and love for you to do to support us. You get me? You keep on supporting us, we'll keep on putting out dope content, man. But yeah, once again, CrepRep, man, I appreciate you, appreciate your thing, and if there's any way I can support what you're doing or help you in any way, just let me know.
Don't worry,
please. And that's not a showbiz thing. That's not like being showbiz. That's not a thing for the cameras. That's a real thing. You get me? I vibe with what you're doing. So yeah, let me know if I can support in front or behind in any way, shape or form. Let me know. But yeah, people, this has been Kicks Chronicles, the sneaker and lifestyle podcast. I've been your boy PROZECH. She's been CrepRep. And until we see you, man, down the roads, look after yourselves and stay blessed.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.